Hey guys, we're back here with Project Wraith, the 2008 C30. We're about to pull some wheels off, pull the rear end out, and then we're going to put some quality Seika brakes and coilovers on it. We have a front brake kit here and a rear brake kit, whichever one those are, and then we have coilovers in this box. So first we're going to take the S40 rear end, disassemble that, and get all the new components on that are going in the car prior to install. So we'll take some wheels off, pull the rear end out of it, and start disassembly on the S40 rear end. Alright, rear brakes are really easy. For this step we're going to just pull the whole caliper and everything off. Normally if you're just doing rear brakes, you pop these caps off. There's a couple 7 Allens on the inside, spring on the outside, and then it's a screw tight. But for this we're just going to remove the entire caliper. So we're going to break the 13s loose holding the bracket, top and bottom, and we're going to take off the line and the e-brake. And I'll show you how to do that. The reason why you got to pry it out is because there's a little bit of a ridge on the edge of the rotor. The e-brake has a 25 Torx right in the front here holding it on. Right here. You can unclip it on there. And then this is your e-brake cable coming in this side. You want to collapse this and pop it off of your cable. Simple. Pull it straight out the front, and your e-brake is off. Move those, since we're taking the subframe down, you can move those below the car. Now the only thing left is going to be the e-brake or the hydraulic line. We're going to take out the inner fender well so that we can get to the inside, since we're replacing them with Seika braided steel lines. The inside is held on by this retainer. What you want to do is first break this line loose, pull the retainer, and then the rest of the line comes right out. Need a container underneath it just to collect any fluid. 7/16 or 11 millimeter. Right out. clip straight out. Flat edge. Get it out of there a little bit farther. And your caliper is off. Pretty simple. Once your caliper is off, you can go ahead and take your rotor out. We do have these spacers on, so we're going to have to get those off first. They're actually hub-centric rings and not spacers. Alright, we're going to get started on removing the rear subframe and kind of run through exactly how to take apart the rear suspension, so that obviously most of you guys aren't going to be doing the all-wheel drive swap. You're just going to be doing coilover. So we'll run through that real quick for you. As you can see, this is the shock. This is the shock here. You have a 10 millimeter on this side, 10 millimeter on this side. There's also, like, some of the older cars have 12s or 13s up there, the S40s and things like that. So you'll take those two out, and then there's going to be one 15 on the inside here, and then the shock will come straight down. This is held up by the shock. It's not full pressure on the shock, but it does hold the spacing, so don't be alarmed if it kind of jolts a little bit.
Flashlight back? My flashlight back? It's up on your...
Okay. One bolt, quick and easy. Shock comes straight down. Now, in order to, on most of the suspensions that you're going to be doing, you're going to just be doing shocks if you're not doing coilovers. So you're going to want to hold this top piece here and take this 13 out, so you can get an offset wrench in there, bust that guy loose, or if you have an impact, you just buzz it out and replace it with this top mount. We're not going to be using that, so we're going to cut that out of there. Now, when you're taking off the rear springs on these cars, you're going to want to support the bottom of the control arm, because you do have pressure on it. You'll support the bottom of the control arm. Next thing you'll do is you'll take off the sway bar, and once the sway bar is completely off, then you can support the bottom and pull this 15 out right here. And that will allow you, once that 15's out, to lower your jack or however you have it supported down far enough to get these springs out. These springs are under high pressure, so you're not going to want to just kind of pop them out without having some kind of support on the bottom. And last thing you do after your both springs are in, you're going to be putting your sway bar on. Now we're going to be swapping this entire rear end over to the S40 to make it a front wheel drive S40. So we're going to leave all that intact. We're not going to pull that apart, but on the all-wheel drive rear end, we'll show you how to install the coilover rears. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of the car. Normally we would be pulling out the fuel tank with the rear end. This time we had to do some measurements on the fuel tank, so we had it out already. We are going to be pulling out the EVAP canister and all the fuel filler nets. So go ahead and unbolt that guy, undo all your harnesses. You also have to undo your harness for your ABS sensors. So we're going to do that. There's one plug on either side for that. The all-wheel drive car also has a harness for the all-wheel, the DAB and everything on the back of it. So we've got to disconnect that car also. We're at the point where we're going to be installing the Massive Speed Systems upper camber arms. You can get these at massivespeedsystems.com. They do offer, right now they're currently offering $5 shipping for all of their Massive Speed items. So we can go ahead and get some of those for you. Alright, what these are upper camber arms that they're fully adjustable. You can adjust the length of the arm, which gives you more or less camber. The reason why you need those on any lower C30 is because, actually any lower C1 or Volvo in general, is because the factory arms are too short. As soon as you lower the car, it increases your camber on the rear. Some people like that sort of thing. I don't like to wear out tires, so you'll get a lot of rear inner wear if you don't have these proper arms. So there's a bunch of companies that make them. Massive Speed Systems is the only company that I try to use because they don't get locked in this section here. Like, these are used arms, and you can see that they're still moving nice and free for the adjustment. A lot of the other ones like to crack along here, and they just don't last. So in order to increase our camber, that's what we're going to put these on. So that's why we're going to put these on. Now they are right and left. You can see this indentation here on the casting. That is for the shock, so you want to make sure that you put it on the correct angle or the correct side. This car doesn't matter as much, but it will matter a little bit on some models. Go ahead and put those on. It's real easy, 2 bolts. Obviously it's easier out of the car. When you're in the car, a lot of your modules, this is a leak detection pump. This will sit right up on here and block your bolt. All you do is kind of reach your hand up in here and push that over so you can get to this inside bolt. Then the other side is real easy. This side is real easy on the outside. You will have to, in order to bolt them back up, you'll have to put a little bit of pressure on the bottom of your control arm to kind of get the right angle. So that could be a little bit difficult. It could be a little bit difficult for some people to do in your driveway, but that's what you got to do. So let's get these guys installed. When I'm installing these, I do use a little bit of marine grease so that it doesn't seize up. It also doesn't cause any squeaks. Sometimes you can get squeaks inside these heim joints for a lot of the cars. So go ahead and grease them up, wipe them down once they're installed. A lot of background noise. We'll have to edit this a lot. You'll have some fun editing. We did use a little bit of marine grease to lube these up a little bit. The heim joints on the inside always need a little bit of grease. So we grease them up with some good marine grease. Now, as I said, this one doesn't matter. Like I said, this one doesn't matter because the shock is actually on the rear side of the control arm on the all-wheel drive car. So it doesn't matter which side we put this on. But you just want to make sure that you have the distance about where you want it, so you don't have to adjust this a lot in the car, because it is a little difficult to adjust inside the car. What I do is I check the length from center to center of the factory ones, and I add about 3/8 of an inch, and then that gives me a good starting point. So I spun these in to where the center to center is about 3/8 of an inch longer than the factory. Alright, I'll go over how to adjust these things in the car. It's a little bit difficult because the tire is sitting right about here, but if you get your wrenches, and this one is 24 and 25 millimeter. The outer one right here, when it's outside the car, you want this length and this length here to be about equal, so that you have a lot of adjustment in and out right here. So this nut right here is your lock nut. You just go ahead and loosen that guy up. They are reverse thread depending on which side you're using, they are reverse thread. And then you have a 25 on the inside here, and you just get that guy on, and you adjust it in and out, depending on what your camber adjustment is. I adjust these on the alignment rack so that I can get it perfect. I like to see about, for daily use, about -2 degrees on the rear. Sometimes, depending on the track, depending on the autocross event, we'll go -1, -1.5, somewhere in there. Higher speed tracks, you want a little bit more camber than that, so you can go up to about 3, 3.5. So it makes it real easy to adjust it once it's in the car. If you have them all loose ahead of time. Alright, we'll get the other side in. Alright, as you can see, we went ahead and installed this side. This 17 here is once you're done making all your adjustments on the alignment rack, you just tighten up this 17, it locks it all into place, and then you tighten up your lock nut here. This one is also reverse thread, so you want to tighten it reverse. So that's it. Master speed arms they're the way to go for these rear arms. I definitely like them. I like the style. They look good. They come in various colors. Obviously, these are the simple black. Pretty easy to install out of the car. A little more difficult inside the car, but I definitely recommend this company. I recommend that anytime you lower a car, you put adjustable rear arms on. Let me show you some SPC arms and why I don't recommend those styles. Alright, these are SPC arms. They are real SPC arms. They're not Chinese knockoffs like some people like to say that only the Chinese knockoff ones break. As you can see, this is your adjustment here. This is all the way tight, still able to be turned. Why is that? Well, because you can see that it's all cracked. All of the threads are too thin and they crack. So then you sit there. It also cracked off the back of the adjuster here. You can see their little tiny tack weld, and it's cracked. So I don't recommend these. This was the second set of these on that particular car. The first ones were warranted, and when you break a second set, then I don't put a third set on. So from then on, I've been using the massive speed arms. I've used some other ones like Megan and different ones. Those are okay. They're similar design to the SPC. I do anticipate them cracking, but I haven't seen too many of them, so I can't say that they have cracked yet. But massive speed have never failed me, so that's what I go with.